It's a quiet Tuesday afternoon, and you're sitting in your favorite armchair, maybe sipping a cup of tea. Suddenly, a thought crosses your mind, one of those private questions you've never quite felt comfortable asking out loud. Is this normal? Is it safe? Am I the only one wondering about this? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Today, we're going to talk openly about something many men over 60 think about but rarely discuss: masturbation. I'm here with you as a friend and a urologist who's cared for thousands of men just like you. And let me say right up front, this is a safe, judgment-free space. Your health and peace of mind matter, and we're going to sort through the noise together. Why focus on this now? Well, as we get a little wiser in our years, our bodies change. What felt straightforward at 30 might raise questions at 60 or beyond. And let's be honest, there's a lot of confusion out there. Some folks whisper that it's risky, others say it's essential, and most of it? Well, it's just plain myths. That's why in this video, we'll walk through 5 big truths and myths about masturbation specifically for men over 60. My goal? To give you clear, science-backed answers so you can feel confident, stay healthy, and live fully. No jargon, no embarrassment, just real talk between friends. So where do we begin? Let's start with the very first myth I hear all too often in my clinic. It usually comes up when a patient leans in and says, "Doc, isn't this something I should have outgrown by now?" Myth number 1, masturbation is just for young men, it's time to move on. This one breaks my heart a little. Society sometimes paints intimacy as a young person's game, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Think about it. Our need for connection, comfort, and even simple physical release doesn't vanish at 60. It evolves like everything else. I remember a patient, let's call him Frank, who sheepishly admitted he'd stopped masturbating at 65 because he thought it was undignified. Within months, he felt disconnected from his own body, almost like he'd lost a part of himself. When we talked it through, he realized there was no rulebook saying he had to quit. The truth: masturbation is a natural, healthy part of life at any age. It's like stretching or walking, a way to honor your body's needs. For men over 60, it can actually help you stay in tune with changes in your sexual response, reduce stress, and even improve sleep. So if anyone tells you you're too old for this, smile kindly and know better. Now, speaking of honoring your body, that brings us smoothly to our second big myth, one that scares a lot of men into avoiding something that could actually protect them. Myth number 2, masturbation raises your risk of prostate problems or cancer. This is the heavyweight champion of worries, especially among the guys in my waiting room. I've heard versions of this for years. My buddy says it causes cancer, or I read online that it drains your vitality. Let's set the record straight with some good science. Major studies, like Harvard's long-term research on aging men, have shown something fascinating. Regular ejaculation, whether with a partner or through masturbation, may actually lower your risk of prostate cancer. How? Think of your prostate like a delicate gland that needs to stay active to stay healthy. Stagnant fluids can lead to inflammation or other issues over time. By ejaculating regularly, say, a few times a week, you're helping flush out old cells and keep things flowing smoothly. It's like changing the oil in your car engine. But here's what's just as important: there's no magic number. For some men, once a week feels right. For others, it might be less. Listen to your body. It'll tell you what's comfortable. And if you have an enlarged prostate or other conditions, masturbation is generally safe, but always check with your doctor about what's best for you. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but what about energy? Will this leave me drained? That's a fair concern, especially when you got grandkids to chase or a garden to tend. Let me share a quick story. One of my favorite patients, Robert, is 72 and still teaches woodworking classes. He told me he'd avoided masturbation for years because he worried it would sap his strength. After we chatted, he tried easing back into it gently, no pressure, just when it felt natural. A month later, he came back grinning. "Doc," he said, "I sleep like a rock now, and I've got more spring in my step than I have in ages." Why? Because releasing tension through masturbation can lower stress hormones and boost endorphins, those lovely little chemicals that make you feel relaxed and rejuvenated. It's not about losing energy, it's about releasing the weight that holds you back. So where does this leave us? We've tackled 2 big myths today. First, that masturbation is only for the young. Absolutely not true. Your body's needs matter at every age. And second, that it harms your prostate. Science says it might even help protect it. But I know what's coming next in your mind. What about my heart? Or my blood pressure? Could this be risky if I'm on medications? Those are vital questions, and they deserve just as much care and clarity as the ones we've covered. So let's keep this conversation going. We'll walk through those concerns step by gentle step, always putting your health and peace of mind first. You know, after we chatted last time about those first 2 myths, I've had so many thoughtful letters and comments from folks just like you. One gentleman, Harold, 78, still hikes every weekend, wrote, "Doc, you put my mind at ease about my prostate, but what about my ticker? My heart's been through a lot. Is it safe?" Harold's not alone. That's exactly where we'll gently step next, into those very real, very human concerns about your heart, your blood pressure, and yes, those little pills so many of us take as we get wiser. Myth number 3, masturbation is too risky if you have heart problems or high blood pressure. Let's lean into this one together. I picture Harold sitting on his porch, looking out at the mountains he loves, wondering if something as simple as touching himself could strain his heart. Here's the truth, backed by decades of cardiology research. Solitary masturbation is one of the lowest stress sexual activities for your cardiovascular system. Think of physical exertion like climbing stairs. Some activities are a steep flight, others are just a single step. Masturbation, it's closer to that single step. Your heart rate and blood pressure rise modestly, similar to a leisurely stroll, and return to normal quickly. In fact, a 2016 study in the American Journal of Cardiology followed men with stable heart disease and found no increased risk in sexual activity, especially when self-directed. Now, contrast that with the stress of worrying about it or feeling shame. That's the real burden on your heart. Stress floods your body with cortisol. That's the alarm hormone that tightens your blood vessels and makes your heart work harder. Releasing tension through masturbation? It often does the opposite. It tells your nervous system, it's safe to relax now. For men like Harold, or maybe like you, who manage blood pressure or heart rhythms with medication, just be mindful of your body. If climbing a flight of stairs leaves you breathless, pause and talk to your doctor. But for most, this is a gentle, safe way to honor your body's rhythms. Myth number 4, if you're on medications, masturbation could cause dangerous side effects. The medicine cabinet question. So many of my patients take daily pills, blood thinners, beta blockers, antidepressants, you name it. And I've heard whispers in the clinic. Will this make my blood pressure drop too low? Or could it interact badly? Let's clear the air. First, most common medications do not directly interfere with masturbation. Blood thinners like warfarin? No impact. Beta blockers for blood pressure? They might slightly slow your arousal response, less racing engine, more steady hum. But they don't make the act unsafe. Even nitrates for angina, which do carry risks with partnered sex due to blood pressure drops, aren't typically a concern with solo practice. Why? Because the physical demand is so much lower. But, and this matters, some medications can affect desire or function. Antidepressants, for example, might temporarily dampen libido or delay orgasm. If that's happening to you, it's not your fault, and it's not permanent. Talk to your doctor. Maybe adjusting the dose or switching meds could help. And gentlemen, if you're on testosterone therapy, that often boosts desire and vitality. Just keep an eye on your PSA levels with your urologist. Remember Robert, my woodworking patient? He takes a low-dose beta blocker. He told me he'd avoided any kind of sexual touch for years, fearing a crash. When he finally tried, slowly, patiently, he was amazed. It wasn't a thunderclap, doc, he said. More like a quiet sunrise. And afterward, I felt calm. Not dizzy, not drained, just peaceful. Now, as we ease into the heart of this conversation, I see a hand go up in the back of my mind. But doc, you might say, what if things don't work like they used to? What if I get frustrated? Yes. The worry about performance, about erections that come and go like shy old friends. That's where we're headed next, and I promise you it's nothing to fear. In fact, understanding this next truth might just free you to enjoy this part of your life more deeply than ever. So let's walk there together, step by step, with the same kindness we'd show a friend sharing a quiet confession over coffee. There's grace in this, gentlemen, so much grace. You know, after we talked about medications and heart health, I've been thinking about something my patient Ben told me last week. He's 68, a retired teacher, and he said, "Doc, sometimes I feel like my body's betraying me. Things don't respond like they used to. Makes me wonder, should I even bother trying?" If that resonates with you, lean in close. What Ben's describing is one of the most tender, unspoken fears men carry after 60. So let's walk through this together. No judgment, just honesty. Myth number 5. If erections are weaker or slower, masturbation is pointless or frustrating. First, let's gently reframe this. As we age, our bodies change, and that includes sexual response. Blood flow might be slower. Nerve sensitivity shifts. An erection might take longer to build, feel less rigid, or fade quicker. But this doesn't mean pleasure is gone. It means pleasure is different. Think of it like hearing. Maybe you don't catch every high note in a symphony anymore, but you can still feel the music thrumming in your bones. Masturbation isn't just about erection performance. It's about reconnecting with your body's sensations, the warmth of touch, the rhythm of breath, releasing stress and tension, remembering that you're still alive, still capable of joy. Ben learned this slowly. He'd gotten so fixated on how hard or how long that he'd forgotten how to simply feel. We practiced mindfulness. Try touching yourself without any goal, I told him. Notice the textures, fingers on skin, sheets against your back. Breathe. Let your body lead. A month later, he came back tearful. I felt peace, for the first time in years. Truth number 3. Masturbation can actually help you understand your body's changes. Think of it as a gentle self-checkup. When you touch yourself regularly, you notice subtle shifts, e.g., my right testicle feels firmer than last month. Spot potential issues early, skin changes, pain, or unusual discharge. Learn what new kinds of touch feel good, slower strokes, different pressures. It's like walking the same path in your garden every morning. You see the first sprout, the wilted leaf, the needing water. Awareness is power. Myth number 6. You should save your energy. Ejaculation drains vital strength. This myth stretches back centuries, an old idea that semen holds some mystical life force. Gentlemen, let's put this to rest. Modern science shows ejaculation is not depleting. Semen is mostly water, proteins, and minerals. Your body replenishes it constantly, like saliva or sweat. In fact, avoiding ejaculation can cause prostatic congestion, that full, achy feeling in your pelvis, increased irritability, pent-up tension, erectile dysfunction, use it or lose it applies to blood flow. I think of Sam, 74, who believed saving up would make sex with his wife stronger. Instead, he grew frustrated, and his erections weakened. When he began regular self-touch, even without orgasm, blood flow improved. Like unclogging a pipe, he laughed. Truth number 4, masturbation supports emotional health. After 60, life hands us losses, friends, careers, physical vigor. Masturbation becomes a quiet act of resilience, comfort in loneliness or grief, control when other things feel uncertain, connection to your own aliveness. George, 81, told me after his wife passed, "Those 5 minutes in the shower aren't about lust." They're my reminder that I'm still here. Myth number 7. Lubricants are unnecessary or embarrassing. Skin thins with age. Natural lubrication decreases. Friction can cause microtears, raising infection risk. Using lube isn't indulgent, it's self-care. Keep it simple. Water-based, easy cleanup, safe with condoms. Silicone-based, long-lasting, great for sensitive skin. Avoid perfumed oils, can irritate. You know, George's words about finding comfort in those quiet moments, my reminder that I'm still here, stayed with me long after our appointment. It's a testament to how deeply personal this journey is. And it leads us gently to the last, vital piece of our conversation. Safety, wisdom, and listening to the language of your own body. Truth number 5. Your body will tell you what's safe if you listen. After 60, You've earned a doctorate in reading your own signals. Masturbation should never cause sharp or persistent pain in your pelvis, back or groin, bleeding, unusual discharge, or skin changes, dizziness, chest pressure, or shortness of breath. Think of these as your body's whispers asking for attention. Like Sam, who noticed a dull ache after self-touch. Instead of ignoring it, he saw his urologist and caught a mild urinary infection early. Better than waiting for it to shout, he told me. Myth number 8. More frequent equals better health. Balance is everything. Forcing yourself to meet some imagined quota creates stress, the opposite of what we want. There's no universal rule. For some men, once a week feels nourishing. For others, twice a month is plenty. Your rhythm is yours alone. George put it beautifully. It's like tending roses. Document too much water drowns them. Too little, they wither. But when you learn their rhythm, they bloom. Let's walk back through what we've shared. Masturbation isn't undignified after 60. It's a natural, health-supporting act. It doesn't harm your prostate. Studies suggest it may protect it. It's low risk for hearts, gentler than a brisk walk for most. Medications rarely interfere, but talk to your doctor if you're unsure. Erections change, but pleasure remains. Redefine what satisfaction means. Saving energy is a myth. Regular release supports vitality. Lubricant is self-care, not a luxury. Listen to your body's whispers. Pain is never normal. If you take one thing from our time together, let it be this. Your body is not a problem to be solved. It's a story to be honored. Every touch, every moment of relearning yourself is a declaration. I am here. I am worthy of joy. So I invite you now. Share your story below if you feel comfortable. What did our conversation unlock for you? Tap like if this felt like a respectful, helpful chat. It tells me what matters to you. Subscribe for more real talks about thriving after 60. No hype, no shame. As the great poet Mary Oliver asked, tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? At 60, 70, 80, and beyond, that life still blooms. Tend it with kindness. Celebrate its seasons. And remember, you're not navigating this alone. Here's to your health, your peace, and the quiet courage of owning your story.